A news hour tonight. Lakurawa group kills 15, rustle 100 cows in Kebbi community. Released and barred governance protesters narrate ordeal in Abuja, Kaduna detention centers. Reactions still frequent, national grid collapse. Away from Nigeria, Pakistani separatists killed 26 in railway station blast. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Hour. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Now the news. The new armed group known as Lakurawa has killed 15 people and rustled over 100 cows in the mirror axis of Ogi local government area of Kebbi State. A prominent personality in the town, Bashir Issa Mira, while confirming the attack to Daily Trust, said the armed group invaded the town as people were getting set for Jumat prayers and made away with over 100 cattle. Mira added that the Lukurawas are hiding in Sokoto bush from where they coordinate their attacks. Mira said Governor Nasir Idris has ordered the deployment of soldiers with gun trucks and armored tanks to the area to contain the situation. He added that the commanding officer of Duku Barracks, the DSS boss in the state, Commissioner of Police and Combined Security Forces have been mobilized to return normalcy to Mira town and its environment. In the meantime, the victims have been given a mass burial. The funeral prayer was attended by the Deputy Governor, Umar Tafida, Commissioner of Police, who led other security chiefs, and the Emir of Argungu, Ismail Amira. The funeral prayer included prayers for peace and for the repose of the souls of the departed, with a commitment to strengthen regional security and stability. Still in Kebbi State, the state chapter of the People's Democratic Party has condemned the recent attack of Mira community in the Ogi local government area, describing the incident as both shocking and unfortunate. The state chairman, Usman Bello Suru, extended heartfelt sympathies on behalf of the working committee, party elders, and the state working committee to the state government, Argungu Emirate Council, and Ogi local government council. This follows an attack by bandits which claimed the lives of 15 residents on Friday. Now joining us via phone call is a Kebbi-based media consultant, Isiaka Abdul Aziz. Hello Isiaka, good evening. Thank you for joining us on the News Hour.
Good evening, Chamaka. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Can you tell us what has led to the formation of the new group, that is the Lakurawa, and how strong the influence is on the sphere of operation in the state?
Good evening once again. This group is a group which is a bit not known to people. If you can remember very vividly, not quite long ago, the Defense Headquarters gave warning on the existence of this Lakurawa group. All of a sudden, you tried yesterday very close to going to Jumat's prayers. So their modus operandi and every other thing about them is yet not very known to even, I believe, the security agency, not to talk of the citizens of the country. So the group is, even you have people pronouncing the name the way they want. Some people say that, as it is now, nobody can tell you exactly what the formation of the group, what is their, from where are they, and what is their philosophical objectives and thereabouts. So we don't know, is it an ideologically based group or any other thing? All we know now is there is a group as been advised by the Defense Headquarters and to watch out for this criminal bandit.
Let's come back to the communities now. Is it that the communities can't stop the emergence of bandit groups like this? Because these people who form these bandit groups all come from the communities or around the communities or some communities around the area.
Well, there are laws establishing the possession of armed fire. It is not easy for any individual to possess firearms, and you cannot even bear it because it's against the law. And these people that, according to eyewitness accounts, they have sophisticated weapons, including RPGs and AK-47s and other weapons and a lot of ammunitions. So it is going to be a suicide for anybody to confront this kind of bandits with the way they are operating mercilessly and confront them with maybe a shotgun or all these local and traditional arms that the farmers bear. So that is, and perhaps this group is very, very new. Nobody even knows their modus operandi for now. So it took the community by surprise, and I believe even the traditional intelligence network of the community, which Argungu Emirate has one of the best in the country, because they are very formidable and they report everything they have, especially to the Emir of Argungu. The Emirate is well organized, and they have a very good system that could raise alarm at any given point in time. That is one of the reasons why people are so surprised that this kind of attack could have happened without having any traces of it happening within the domains of Argungu Emirate.
All right, thank you, Isiaq Abdulaziz, for the update on what's happened in the Ogi local government area of Kebbi State. Thank you so much. Hopefully that the cows will be found back and the people behind this will be arrested. Moving on to other stories over in Katsina State, gunmen suspected to be bandits have killed two security officials comprising a member of the Katsina State Community Watch Corps and one vigilante member in Jibia local government area of the state. 5 persons also sustained gunshot injuries as a result of the simultaneous coordinated attacks carried out by the hoodlums in 3 quarters in Jibia Township on Thursday, November 7th. It was guarded that the hoodlums launched the attacks on certain quarters, all in the Jibia Township area of the state. The state police spokesperson ASP Abubakar Sadiq confirmed the incident on Friday in a statement saying the injured persons were immediately rushed to a nearby hospital for medical attention. Abubakar said the command, in collaboration with the military, members of the State Community Watch Corps and vigilantes, successfully foiled the attacks, where the swift response of the joint security team led by the DPO Jibia repelled the attackers, resulting in a fierce gun duel that lasted for over an hour. According to him, the command, in conjunction with sister security agencies, are closely working together with all relevant stakeholders to intensify efforts to ensure the arrest of the perpetrators of the dastardly act. We're moving over now to speak with our reporter in Katsina State, Abdullahi Yamadi, who is joining us via phone call to give us an update. Good evening, Abdullahi.
Thank you, Chiamaka.
Thank you for joining us. How is Jibia after this tragic incident that took place?
Well, this evening we were in Jibia, and of course the community that was attacked, that is Ngwara Kaida Bridge, just a new settlement attached to Jibia town from the south. The people are seriously in fear and apprehension because of the frequency of attacks. The community was attacked 3 times in just a month. This last one that happened on Friday, 2 people were killed and 5 others were seriously wounded. As at 5 p.m. this today, people were leaving the community to some other parts of Jibia town for their safety because of the fear of another attack. And Libya is one of the commercial hubs, talking about some local governments in Kaduna State, because of its closeness to Niger Republic. It's a border town. Many business activities have closed due to this issue of insecurity, being Libya one of the frontline local government areas in terms of insecurity. People that were coming to Libya from Niger Republic are no longer coming to transact business with them because of this insecurity. There's a lot of economic and social dislocations following this insecurity over the last decade. So people of Libya are not happy. They are very sad. And there are a lot of lamentations that their representatives have left them and abandoned them at the mercy of the hoodlums. So honestly, there are a lot of problems. And they are asking the state government to, and of course the federal government, to deploy more security to prevent reoccurrence of these attacks. This is the situation.
So it's seeming that the situation in Katsina is the bandit attacks every other day. What are the steps being put in by the state government itself and maybe the people in the community to prevent attacks like this from being a normal, everyday occurrence?
Yeah. The state government is doing its best from its part because even last Friday, another set of this local security outfit under the state government has been inaugurated. The second batch of the security outfit was inaugurated yesterday by Governor Diko Omorurada. And the synergy that exists between the local community security, vigilantes and the police in particular is very, very vital and is assisting greatly in combating some of these insecurity issues.
Okay.
The communities too becoming more fearless because of the frequency of these attacks. So they are seriously supporting the security outfits in confronting the bandits.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Abdullahi Amade, for joining us tonight and giving us that update on the situation in Katsina, particularly in the Jibia area of the state.
Thank you, Chamaka.
Moving over from the northwest now to the northeast, where in Gombe, the police command has arrested a 30-year-old man for allegedly abducting and raping a 16-year-old girl. The police said it is investigating the case, which began as a relationship but snowballed into an abduction as parents of the girl claimed she left without their consent. The arrest was part of many suspects paraded by the command for alleged theft and homicide. Hassan Kohli has more in this report.
Parading the suspect at the command headquarters in Gombe on Friday, the police public relations officer said the team has arrested the man who took the girl to Kano with the intention of getting married to her. They are accusing the suspect of threatening to harm the victim if she disclosed his actions.
The suspect took their daughter to unknown destination, and the daughter is 16 years of age. So immediately they started looking for her. Later the suspect called and told them that he's with Zaliha in Kano, Hisba, that they want to get married there. So before going to the Kano, he took her to Bajoga, which of course without the consent of the parents. Although he claimed to have sought for her hand in marriage, which the family refused. That is what led to his action of taking her away. Of course, the complaint reached the office of the Commissioner of Police, where he detailed the CP monitoring units to carry out a diligent investigation about the matter. On the process, this very tactical unit arrived Kano Hisba office and brought the suspect together with the victim down to this command for proper investigation.
The suspect says he took the girl to Kano with her consent
Some of the released and barred governance protesters in Kaduna have narrated their ordeals while in detention in Kaduna and Abuja, 3 months after their arrest for participating in a hunger protest in Kaduna State. Speaking exclusively with Trust TV, some of the detainees described their treatment as hellish, citing inhuman conditions during their detention. Trust TV's Bello Musa has more.
Fahad Ibrahim is among the protesters detained for over 3 months. According to him, he was arrested near the correctional center in Kaduna. After our arrest in Kaduna, we were beaten and mistreated. We were 73 in the cell, so many were collapsing, occasionally due to heat. There were mosquitoes and bedbugs, so sleeping was a big challenge. His experience at the Kuje prison is one that will linger for a long while for both Fahad and Umar. The food was insufficient at the first CID, but at Kuje prison, they fed us 3 times daily, even though the food lacked taste. But we ate to keep us from being starved. We were 37 in the cell, and I slept on a mat near a toilet. We were taken to court while hungry, which led to incident in the courtroom where several collapsed during the proceedings. We were all crying as we watched the younger ones among us collapse in court. The judge then directed that the children should be fed. They ate as if they had not had food in a long time. Fahad is epileptic. He suffered an attack while in detention. Many were beaten in the prison, but I was not beaten. I am an epileptic patient, and I had an attack while in the cell, but was assisted by my cellmate. When I went to the clinic, I was only given a prescription to buy outside, and since I don't have money to buy, they gave me paracetamol. He is a plumber, but his detention has disrupted the business. We need justice because our time was wasted and it kills my business. I lost customers due to my incarceration, and as we speak, I don't have tools for plumbing.
They were denied the opportunity to run their businesses. It is only God that will avenge them.
Earlier, the Kaduna State government said the detainees were medically examined and given psychosocial counseling to enable them recover faster. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The Lagos State chapter of the #EndBadGovernance movement on Friday kicked off a protest calling for the immediate withdrawal of treason charges against 5 activists facing trial. The protest, which began at the Ikeja Underbridge, is seeking the release of Michael Adaramoye Leni, Monsieur Sodiq, Daniel Akonde, Angel Innocent, and other #EndBadGovernance protesters currently on trial for allegedly attempting to overthrow the government. The demonstrators, holding placards and chanting slogans, voiced their outrage over what they described as a politically motivated crackdown on peaceful protesters.
Why we are here today is to say that no one deserves the death penalty. Yes. For protesting against hunger. Yes. If truly this is a civilian rule, if it is not a military dictatorship that we are under, the appropriate response to protest is not treason.
We are appealing and we are warning also the federal government of Nigeria, the president, the Senate, the House of Assembly members. These people, they are not criminals. Yes. They are just a peaceful protesters. Yes. And it is our right in a democratic setting. We say democracy is for people, by the people, and for all by the people.
The peaceful protesters who protested and are in detention, we are calling on the government of the day to immediately make process for their release. Arresting them, detaining them, dehumanizing them is not in our law. There is an opportunity to call on the president that power belongs to the people. When people are protesting, in fact, the duty of government is to give them support. There is hardship in the land. There is hardship.
I've listened to your complaint, and I believe all the complaints are contained in this petition. So I've received it now on their behalf, and I'm going to deliver it to the appropriate office, as in the office of the Honorable Chief Judge. And I believe necessary action will follow and be taken as a matter of urgency. You can be sure is in this listening later, is listening your Chief Judge, and will take care of all that is necessary.
The National Human Rights Commission has absolved the Nigerian military of complicity in the reported termination of about 10,000 pregnancies in the Northeast. Recall the Reuters had in a report published December 7, 2022, alleged that since 2013, the Nigerian military conducted a secret, systematic and illegal abortion program in the Northeast, ending at least 10,000 pregnancies among women and girls, many of whom had been kidnapped and raped by terrorists. In the report with the abortion assault headline, and Nigerian military ran secret mass abortion program in war against Boko Haram as a rider, Reuters stated that the publication borders on an investigation-based interview with 33 women and girls who claimed their abortions were mostly carried out without their consent and prior knowledge while in the custody of the Nigerian army. Following the Reuters publication, the NHRC set up a panel, the Special Independent Investigative Panel on Human Rights Violations in Counterinsurgency Operations in Northeast, chaired by retired Supreme Court Justice Abdul Abuki. The commission, while addressing the media on Friday in Abuja, noted that based on investigations, the Nigerian military did not operate a secret program or any policy of illegal abortions, according to the testimonies from their witnesses.
It is to the credit of the panel members, the Secretariat, the National Human Rights Commission, and supporting partners today, that today I can proudly assert that an extensive and thorough investigation based on justice and fairness has been achieved. The report we are presenting today has been a result of extensive work of the panel and its secretariat, encompassing 199 testimonies and a visit to 20 field locations.
The panel frowned at international organizations operating in Nigeria that refuse to obey constituted authorities, that also refuse to find themselves or make themselves available for international and national human rights mechanisms, as exemplified by the panel here today. And we have already mentioned the attitude of that ICRC and that Reuters and also Médecins Sans Frontières should hold themselves out in the same manner and in the same latitude that they want to hold others accountable.
For the people who made the allegations not to come right from the beginning, cast a doubt as to whether they're sure of the allegations they made. That's one. and we have found out that substantially the allegations were not correct. Those against whom the allegations were made can now, they have the recourse of the law to them. I mean, if I made wrong allegations against you and it has been investigated and found not to be true, the process is open to you to take any other measure you want to do to access your remedy.
Reacting, the Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has hailed the Special Independent Investigative Panel on Human Rights Violations and Counterinsurgency in the Northeast for exonerating the Armed Forces of Nigeria (AFN) from indictment over forceful abortions in the Northeast. The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, and Reuters had accused the armed forces of perpetrating forceful abortions and other infractions in the Northeast. The Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukuru Gusau, in a statement on Saturday, said the outcome of the investigation revealed that allegations of systematic abortions, torture, rape, and extrajudicial killings leveled against the AFN were false. The statement quoted the CDS as commending the 7-man panel led by Justice Abdul Boki, retired, for painstakingly carrying out a thorough job since its inauguration in March 2023 by the Nigerian Human Rights Commission. Northern stakeholders under the aegis of the Coalition of Northern Group CNG have said that the current political leaders in the North have not preserved the legacies of the late Sardauna of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello, and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. The stakeholders, comprising civil society organizations, gender groups, traditional and religious leaders, reached this consensus at a one-day North Central community engagement in Mina. Abubakar Akote has more.
The North Central Community Engagement is just one of the similar events that have gained momentum in other parts of the North in recent times. The objective of this engagement seems to be the same: a call to action among elected leaders and communities to address socio-economic challenges and insecurity bedeviling the region. Stakeholders insist that there is a need to allow only those with competence and vision for the region to be elected in 2027 and beyond.
We find ourselves in this problem as a result of series of issues. But what I can just wrap it up is a decay of leadership. Is a decay of leadership. As a result of the decay of leadership, that's why things keep on deteriorating up to the level we found ourselves today in. Deviated from the norms and values that these Sardonas and others left this country, or the northern part of the country in. They have even deviated. They even deviated to know who they are. They cannot even exalt their potentials. They don't even know their potentials. They don't even know why they are even being recruited as leaders. That's why we're getting it wrong. Not even talking about Sardona who died long ago. Even those people that died recently, like Emerson and others. If they come back and find out that the situation that northern Nigeria found itself in, they will cry, they will weep, and later I believe that they will go back to their grave.
Corruption is one of the biggest problems in northern Nigeria. It's one that contributed all other things. I told you, it is one, I told you that one has to be driven by his religion guidance. 2, we must respect the traditional class. 3, corruption has done everything bad in the northern Nigeria because it is the corruption that led us to where we are today. Everybody think of himself alone. And if they are being given something for public to make use of it, you turn it to yourself, which is bad. You find that people need this thing, but you not do it to them. What you go, even the contractors are saying the type of the work the government is doing in the country, you will realize that it is what they will gain out of it. They don't focus on human development. How do we solve the problem of individuals? These are people that voted for us. These are people that we have to look for their concern, but we don't do it. Therefore, corruption is one of the biggest problems that led to all what we are having problems in this country nowadays.
Everyone has a lot to contribute to his community in changing the narration that we find ourselves today. A lot of things have gone wrong. A lot of things needs everybody's effort to overturn them. We need to be our brother's keeper within neighborhood. We need to really exchange our hands of fellowship to each and everyone within the community. We need to change the perspective of isolation and living without care to another person within community. We need to come up as a team in the community
to solve security issues, to solve a lot of poverty issues, to develop skills and encourage the young one within communities to pursue livelihood.
The stakeholders pointed out that the failure of formal and informal institutions have led to moral decadence over the years and are calling for immediate and long-term solutions through collective participation from all stakeholders. Also important is the emphasis on the family planning to ensure that people give birth to children that they can cater for. Abubakar Akote, Trust TV News, Mina.
This is still News Hour on Trust TV. Still to come. Reactions trail frequent national grid collapse. More when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. And now a recap of our top stories. We told you that Lakoraba group kills 15, Russell 100 cows in Kebbi community. Victims have been buried. We also informed you, release end bad governance protesters narrate ordeal in Abuja, Kaduna detention centers. Moving on. The police command in Adamawa says it has apprehended a 19-year-old man for allegedly killing his newborn in Mubinot local government area of the state. The spokesman of the command, SP Suleiman Nguroje, who stated this in a statement in the state capital, Yola, on Saturday, added that operatives of the command detained the suspect on Friday over alleged murder of the 3-day-old baby. Nguroje said the murder of the baby, who is the suspect's girlfriend, reported the matter to the police. He noted that preliminary investigation showed that the suspect impregnated the complainant, who after giving birth called him to come for his baby. Nguroje said the suspect visited the complainant's house during the night hours and carried the baby after he sent her on an errand. The spokesman said the suspect killed the baby and buried the corpse at Gripata area of Mubi. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has rescued an 8-year-old boy, Divine Ibanga, from his abductors more than a year after being declared missing. The Uyo Zonal Commander of NAPTIP, Emmanuel Awen, who made the disclosure in Uyo on Saturday, said the boy had been reunited with his parents. Awen said Divine was stolen on September 1, 2023 by someone yet to be arrested while he was playing with his elder brother at their compound in Port Harcourt. According to him, the boy was rescued by the Abuja office of the agency, which brought him to the Uyo Zonal Command to trace his biological parents. The commander explained that child theft is becoming rampant and cautioned parents to be extra careful, pointing out that some of those who engage in stealing children are neighbors and friends. Narrating the ordeal, the victim's mother, Comfort Ibanga, a petty trader in Port Harcourt from Essien Udim, local government area of Akwa Ibom State, said Divine was stolen while she was away for her daily market activities. Still in the South, residents of Osun State have been speaking on the rising cases of child poverty in the state and the country as a whole. According to them, the high rate of child poverty in Nigeria has more than ever before become a serious source of concern and calls for urgent action to address the menace. Hamid Oyegba details us more in this report.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, 67.5% of children in Nigeria are multidimensionally poor. This means that 1 in 3 children under 5 in Nigeria experiences severe food poverty, which can lead to life-threatening malnutrition. These children lack access to education, health, and better living standard. A resident of Oshogbo, Adebayo Abdurrahman, says child poverty is part of failure of government.
The government can be blamed in the sense that they promise and fail all the time. And the promise and fail of the government, it will bounce on the parents, where the parents will not be able to cater for their children. In terms of feeding, pay the school fees, send them to a better school, and shelter them at the right time.
But another resident of Oshogbo, Akim Awobode, says child poverty is caused by irresponsible parents.
They don't care about what their children eat. They don't care when their children leave home for school, they don't even know whether their children go to school. So they are careless. There are some careless parents like that. So at the end of the day, you now see parents who are children wandering around. You'll be wandering around from one hand to another. So that is a problem.
For Boluwatife Adedokun, who also resides in Osogbo, parents and government have complementary roles to play in addressing child poverty.
Government cannot only solve it, it's the parents. The parents should find something to do. They should not leave their children. If you can give birth to them, then why can't you just look for a way to fend for them? At least they should do something. They should work. If they cannot send them to private school, public schools are there. They can send them to public schools. So parents should try on their own part to make provision for their children.
They all called on governments to take necessary steps to address child poverty in order to secure the future of children. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
Back to the Northeast. Women in Bauchi State have been tasked to use the advantage of biogas technology and source information that would help them in the fight against poverty in their matrimonial homes and beyond. The task was handed down to them during a sensitization of rural women on the need to use alternative methods to be empowered. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
At the sensitization, the women were reminded that as a catalyst for social change, it was imperative for them to take advantage of emerging technologies like biogas to help fight poverty. Medina Raji, a financial literacy expert, says the major challenges of women today is the lack of information.
Yeah, so because people are eager, it's the money that is their concern. They are not after reading the terms and conditions of the loan. For every loan that is given, it comes with terms and conditions. They don't go through it. They are just eager to accept the loan and then they collect it and use it properly for what was not meant for. Yes, for us to give you a loan, we want to know what you want to use our money for. You know, a lot of people will just collect it and then they divert these funds. At the end, they have problems.
Others agree that using information technology in this century is the best way for sustainable women initiatives that will reduce hardship in many homes and communities as a whole.
By teaching them how to use cow dung to produce gas, honestly, it will ease the tension. It will ease also the expenditure of women asking for firewood, and also their health.
For instance, I used to buy at least 2 small bundles of firewood for cooking, with one bundle going 280 naira. And if I decide to use charcoal, I will spend not less than 800 naira per day. So this initiative is a welcome development for us.
Experts maintain that although women in Nigeria make up a significant portion of the population, they sadly remain behind, hence the need for them to be given priority attention at all times. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
In Adamawa State, the government, in collaboration with a non-governmental organization, has trained and empowered 200 adolescent girls by providing them with startup kits to help them become self-reliant. This initiative is part of the Learn and Stay Protected project, which aims to enhance adolescent girls' ability to exercise their rights to education and protection from sexual and gender-based violence. Gibson Swadigo tells us more.
Among the participants, 80 girls received training in sewing, 32 in hairdressing, 18 in makeover services, 23 in grinding, 3 in soap making, 11 in shoemaking, and 32 in catering. The project manager, Falling Johnson, explained that the project has been running for 4 years with an additional year plan for continuation with goals to create a lasting impact on the lives of adolescent girls in Adamawa State and ultimately across the entire country. Falling mentioned that the girls underwent 6 months of training based on their preferred skills for sustainability and family support.
What we did is that we asked them which IGA, that's income generating activities, that they want to learn so that they will be able to sustain themselves and also support their family. And we have provided them with full startup material. From the display that you have seen, all girls who even learn tailoring knows how to sew perfectly, and we believe that they will open their own business and then also train another set of people under them, so that in the society we'll be able to eliminate poverty, and also they will survive, or they will not be exploited because of resources that is not available for them.
The Adamawa State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Nedo Geoffrey Kufuldo, praised Plan International for complementing the empowerment programs of Governor Fintri. She urged the beneficiaries to make effective use of the startup kits, especially considering the current economic challenges in Nigeria.
It's going to help them in different ways. It can be like paying their school fees, taking care of the family for the married ones, for the very young girls that are coming up now. This can even help them if they can really utilize it well. They can save some money to pay for their school, education, and also take care of their personal needs.
In their goodwill messages, stakeholders commended Governor Amadou Fintri and the Plan International for positively impacting the lives of the adolescent girls. Beneficiaries like Shafatu Suleiman and Grace Sunday expressed their gratitude, promising to use the knowledge and tools they received to improve their lives and contribute positively to the growth and development of their communities. Gibson Suadgo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Nigerians have expressed displeasure with the frequent grid collapse and how it has affected them and their businesses. The country has experienced 10 grid collapses so far in 2024, the latest being on Thursday, November 7th, when it collapsed around 11:20 a.m. Antonia Ebohon, who spoke with some residents of Abuja, has more in this report.
Thursday's collapse of the national grid was the second collapse in a week, affecting many businesses around the nation. Abuja residents are disappointed, especially those operating businesses. Some say their only alternative is to buy petrol for generators, which since the removal of fuel subsidy has become a very expensive venture. Power sector stakeholders have warned that the frequent national grid collapse may persist if measures are not taken to address the challenges affecting the power sector. Residents of Abuja gave their perspective on the effect it has on lives of Nigerians, which includes the business sector.
I'm on my own. Whether there's light or no light, I can do my job. So I'm not much affected.
This is just one aspect of our lives. If we can't have power in this country, then why are we here? Why is the leadership here? If they can't deliver power to us, then the essence of governance honestly is being defeated.
Some of the residents say that the grid collapse has affected a lot of businesses, causing many to lose millions of naira.
Today, all through where the whole place was so dark, everything blackout all through. So it's really affecting. As a nation, we have to do something about it.
I am about 63 years now. From the time I know something, we have been having problem in power sector, and people have been losing millions of naira. We have been divided into several band A, band B, band C, band Z with different pricing. But at the end of the day, it's about delivery. If you can't deliver, then you have no purpose being there. Power is the engine room of any economy.
The residents advised the government pay urgent attention and ensure that the necessary measures are put in place to provide stable electricity.
But the TCN, which is the target of the bandits, as they say, which is the target of even natural hazards, has to be controlled, the TCN, by the federal government. And a system does not operate by trial and error. The Minister of Power is there. He is, even if he having a solar system in his house, pay urgent attention and make sure that everything is being put in place.
The Minister for Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has ordered the immediate replacement of aged equipment as part of the recommendations to stop the incessant collapse of national grid.
Worried by the incessant building collapse in the state and the danger it poses to the lives of the people, the Rivers State government has resolved to set up a task force to check the menace. The Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Evans BP disclosed this during the on-the-spot inspection of another collapsed three-story building under construction in the Abacha Road axis of GRA Port Harcourt on Saturday. No life was lost in the latest building collapse, which occurred on Friday. It happened barely 4 days after a similar incident occurred in Ogbogoro community of Obiakpo local government area, which claimed 1 life and severely injured 2 persons. BP said the task force would monitor all development sites in the state to ensure that developers strictly comply with the building laws and regulations of the state to prevent further building collapses. They also accused the developer of gross violation of the government-approved building plan by using substandard materials to raise a 3-story building in a waterlogged area. A building housing 25 was on Saturday gutted by fire in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. According to the State Fire Service, the incident occurred at a data roundabout at about 2 o'clock in the morning. A statement in Ilorin on Saturday by the spokesman of the service, Hassan Adikunle, said firefighters, upon arrival, found a block of about 12 shops engulfed in flames. The Director of State Fire Service, John Falade Olumuyiwa, expressed sympathy with the affected shop owners, offering prayers for the restoration of their losses. He also urged the public to prioritize safety and ensure all electrical appliances are unplugged when not in use. Moving on to the business scene, the new tax reform bills under consideration at the National Assembly propose to halt revenue collection by federal agencies such as the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) and the Nigerian Customs Service (NCS). The chairman of the Presidential Talks Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, who during an interview on Friday explained that the tax reform bills aim to stop approximately 60 federal agencies from collecting taxes, allowing them to focus on their primary mandates. He emphasized that the new measures will simplify tax collection across the country and enhance the operational capacity of these agencies. Under the proposed bill, all federal taxes will be paid to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, which would also undergo a name change. In addition, the chairman of the Presidential Tax Reform Committee said the bill would also repeal the FIRS, which in turn will be changed to the Nigerian Inland Revenue Service, NIRS, to represent its new role. NIRS will then be responsible for the tax collection of all federal taxes and some states' taxes too. Oyedele noted that allowing states to collect VAT will be chaotic, adding that a similar approach was attempted in the 1980s with sales tax, but the subnational governments failed to generate significant revenue through it. He argued that state-level VAT collection would lead to reduced revenue and create challenges for businesses nationwide. Nigeria's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has emerged as the sole candidate for the role of Director General at the World Trade Organization, WTO. The WTO said the former Nigerian finance minister agreed to a second term for the organization's top job. Ambassador Petter Elberg of Norway, who chairs the General Council, informed WTO members on Saturday, November 9, that no further nominations for the position of Director General had been received by the deadline of 8 November. Adding that the incumbent Director General, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is therefore the only candidate for the role. WTO said the chair of the General Council will communicate the next steps in this process in the coming days. Okonjo-Iweala's present term will end on 31st August 2025. President Bola Tinubu will leave Nigeria on Sunday to attend the Joint Arab Islamic Summit in Saudi Arabia. The event will begin in Riyadh on Monday with a focus on the situation in the Middle East. Tinubu's attendance is at the invitation of King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga said in a statement on Saturday that during the summit, President Tinubu is expected to address the ongoing Israel-Palestinian conflict, emphasizing Nigeria's strong call for an immediate ceasefire and the urgent need for a peaceful resolution. Onanuga also said Nigeria will be advocating renewed efforts to revive the two-state solution as a pathway to lasting peace in the region. A bombing claimed by Pakistani separatists has killed 26 people, including 14 soldiers, at a railway station in the southwestern Baluchistan province, a hospital spokesman said on Saturday. The bus hit as passengers waited on a platform at the main railway station in the provincial capital, Quetta. 46 members of the security forces and 14 civilians were wounded, the spokesman added. An AFP journalist saw pools of blood and ripped backpacks at the scene, where a large metal sheet protecting passengers from the elements had been blown off. Despite frequent attacks in Balochistan, the toll of Saturday's blast was particularly high for the southwestern province, which borders Afghanistan and Iran. The train station explosion was claimed by the Baloch Liberation Army (BLA), one of the area's main separatist groups. South Africa's border authority on Saturday said it had partially reopened its main crossing with Mozambique, where last month's disputed elections sparked protests, raising safety concerns. Opposition supporters in Mozambique have been demonstrating against what they say is a fraudulent win by Frelimo, the party that has ruled the southern African country since 1975. South Africa closed the Lembombo port of entry in its Mpumalanga province earlier this week after receiving reports of vehicles being torched on the Mozambican side. It said in a statement that the initial reopening of the port was to manage the movement of people, adding, however, that on Saturday morning, the Mozambican authorities worked to address cargo systems for smooth border processing. At least 21 people have been killed in Mozambique and scores injured in protests in which demonstrators have burned tires, blocked roads, and marched to Frelimo offices. It's time now for sports news with Adeni Ajishafe.
Nigerian-born American UFC fighter Kamaru Usman has declared himself available to take on Shavkat Rakhmonov at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on the 7th December on short notice. Usman said this after welterweight champion Belal Muhammad announced that he would be unavailable to compete due to a foot infection, creating some uncertainty around his matchup with Rakhmonov. In the recent Pound for Pound podcast, Usman shared his willingness to step in on short notice, noting, however, that UFC matchmakers had not reached out to him. Kamaru Usman, with a professional record of 20 wins and 4 losses, 15-3 in the UFC, has a history of accepting short notice fights. During his championship run, he took on Jorge Masvidal with only 6 days' notice in July 2020 at UFC 251. In 2023, he stepped in with less than 2 weeks' notice to face Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 294. Usman secured a unanimous decision win over Masvidal and faced a majority decision loss against Chimaev. Usman is currently on a 3-fight losing streak and has not competed since his bout with Chimaev in October 2023. Before that, he suffered consecutive losses in title fights against Leon Edwards, losing his belt by 5th round knockout at UFC 278, and then falling short in a majority decision in their rematch trilogy at UFC 286. And in football, Super Eagles winger Moses Simon has expressed optimism regarding Super Eagles' chances of securing a spot at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, even in light of their difficult start to the qualifying series. As it stands, the 3-time African champions find themselves in a challenging 5th position in Group D, having accumulated only 3 points from 4 matches played. To enhance their prospects of reaching the World Cup finals, to be co-hosted by Mexico, Canada and USA, Moses Simon emphasized that the Super Eagles must win their remaining 6 qualification matches. Meanwhile, Super Eagles caretaker coach Ogosime Guavon is preparing to finalize the 25-man squad for the upcoming 2025 African Nations Championship CHAN qualifier against Ghana. This decision follows 2 rigorous phases of training camps held in Abuja, where a total of 70 players from the domestic league were evaluated to identify the most talented individuals to represent Nigeria. The invited players will be in a close training camp in Abuja after the Super Eagles complete their 2025 AFCON qualifiers against Benin and Rwanda. The home-based Eagles will travel to Ghana for the first leg of the CHAN qualifier, scheduled to take place from 20th to 22nd December, while the return leg will be hosted in Abuja a week later. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
And that's a wrap on News Hour tonight on Trust TV. For more of our news, programs, documentaries, you want to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us tonight.